Good morning, guys, and compliment of the season. Today's topic is on consumption function and the multiplier. Uh, this topic is a microeconomic topic, and what is consumption function? Consumption function is the relationship between consumption and disposable income. Disposable income can be defined according to Investopedia as the income available to spend after deduction of taxes. Spend on what? Consumption. That is on rent, shopping, foodstuffs, and bills. Mm, That is according to Investopedia. So, and before I proceed, let me give a shout out to the designer of this image, which is Economics Focus. They are the designers of this image, and they did a very good job in designing this image because it contains virtual everything a student of economics is supposed to know on consumption function. So, consumption is directly related to disposable income, and this relationship is that even at zero income, even at zero income, there's always what a consumption. There's always a positive consumption. That is one of the relationship between consumption and income, because from the formula here, there is what we call autonomous consumption, which is always independent. It's always independent of disposable income. Here is just telling us that even at zero income, man must eat in order to survive. Somebody somewhere must feed he or she. And the formula of consumption function is C equal to A plus BYD. And then C is equal to consumption. A simply means autonomous consumption, and then B simply means marginal propensity, is the slope of consumption function. That is the change of consumption function, either increase or decrease. Why BY is induced consumption is usually dependent on disposable income. Why YD is disposable income. It is the level of disposable income that is either increase or what? Decrease. And there is two major concepts of consumption function, that is MPC and MPS. MPC simply means marginal propensity to consume. This marginal propensity to consume simply means the ratio of the change in consumption to the change in disposable income. Here, what they mean here is that sometimes there's always an increase in what salaries and wages of an individual worker. So when there's an increase in salary or wages, one might tend to think that the worker will decide to save the extra increase. So if the worker does not save it, rather he spends it on consumption. So it's called MPC. That is, the extra income was used for what? Consumption. rather than savings, while the NPS is opposite of MPC. MPS simply means marginal propensity to save. Marginal propensity to save is that when there's an extra increase in what income, the individual will tend to save that extra income rather than to consume it. I think that is the major differences between MPC and then MPS. And then there's a relationship between MPC and multiplier. Let me explain the concept of multiplier. Multiplier is just that where there is an increase in MPS, there will be a what? A decrease in investment. Vice versa. Why if there's an increase in MPC, there will be a what? An increase in what? Investment. That is the multiplier effect of both MPC and MPS. And the formula of MPC is just change in what? Consumption all over changing YD. I told you YD is what? The level of disposable income. Why the formula of MPS is equal to 1 minus MPC. That is the constant formula of MPS. It's usually 1 minus MPC. And then what here is a consumption function and schedule and graph. Consumption schedule is just telling us the relationship between disposable income, consumption, savings, MPC and MPS in figures, just like a tabular representation. And graph, the one by my left hand side, is just telling us how consumption is equal to income, that is C equal to Y, and then this other one is telling us the level of consumption, while by the one by my right hand side is telling us about the level of savings and then the savings, and then the point at which both of them meet is called break-even income. That is a balanced point. What is left to review here? Let me see. I think nothing more. Thank you very much, and feel free to drop your question on the comment section. Have a nice day.